Remind me about your name again, because I always forget it. Tell me your name again. Joyce.
Nobody?
You can get it after if you want. Don't worry about
Yes?
it.
Anyone want to play first?
You can get it when we done about 12.
Can I help
Want to
you
wait till
now?
after? Wait till after this is over. No, we didn't start the talking yet.
Okay. Response Center in Durham, but my responsibility for the agency, which has programs for domestic violence. I guess these brochures will go over, but the domestic violence and sexual assault services. We've got an emergency shelter for women and children. We work in the court system. We have support groups. We have a crisis line. So we're kind of like soup to nuts when it comes to working with victims of domestic violence and families, and as well as community education and prevention. My role, however, is to run our thrift store, which we started about 8 years ago, actually probably closer to almost 10 years ago, to generate ongoing revenue, because as a nonprofit, if any of you ever work with them, are constantly struggling with how to finance their services. They do grants, they get some government funds and things, but it's a constant, effort to try to keep operations and the doors open. So they opened this thrift store, and we just moved to a great new location across from Google Hoff, next to Mechanics and Farmers Bank. Any of you ever been to Google Hoff? Restaurant is a German kind of bistro, I guess.
Best bakery.
And bakery, right? And we're really excited because we were in this little tiny building that was kind of, the walls were kind of falling apart. And we went into a bigger space, and now we can do a lot more. However, how we succeed is through not only volunteers, but also from donations of clothing, jewelry, furniture, etc. So that's why I came to you guys today. So that's who we are. So I wanted to just kind of encourage you to maybe think about, things that you don't need anymore, or anybody that has things that they don't need anymore, or friends that that have things you don't need anymore, because we as Americans, generally speaking, have more things, come on in, Jill, than we need. This is a list. I'm going to give each of you if you could cut this in half for me. Sure. Jewelry, furniture, anything home decor, books,
I'm sorry.
CDs,
I'm sorry. I didn't
and
know.
of course, women's clothing. We focus on women's clothing and accessories and kind of homes to funnel that through. So if you have men's items, don't worry about that. We work with urban ministries. We also work with a resettlement group to work to kind of process things through. So all 100% of the proceeds from our store go to support our agency work, as well as clients come in. We give them a gift this way they can pick out the things they like. It's like in our thrift store, kind of when we moved, we decided we wanted to make it a really nice, not your typical Goodwill type place where you have to kind of like go through a million things. Everything is really nicely displayed, so it's like shopping. And most people think it's a consignment store. So that the clients can come in and feel like they're really at a regular store. And then when they move to the basics. So again, I'm just trying to give you the full picture of what we do. And as any nonprofit, we're always looking for people who want to evangelize for us, not in terms of anything other than is a good place if someone's looking to get rid of anything. You know of us. I'll give you our card. You've got our brochure. Actually, on these little brochures, this is sort of an intro brochure that they've done. We have our little logo on there of our store. So it sounds like.
And here's one of the beautiful coats that some lucky woman is going to be able to buy at a very reasonable price. Houses like me that I will never get rid of because I'm always cold. But we have some lovely things that some lucky women are going to be able to get for themselves. And here's another beautiful bag. So it feels, I used to do work when I was in my other life. I was a social worker and I did some counseling at the women's shelter. And it was very painful to feel like you finally can leave an abusive relationship and you just pick your kids up and you throw a couple things together, and so you basically have nothing. They help women get ready to make some changes and go out into the world, and they basically have nothing. So this is why I feel and why I chose to bring this to Emerald Pond, because there are people who need things and they just want to keep themselves safe and their children safe, and sometimes it's been a long time till they make that decision. And when they do, they just go. So this is a really important organization. And I also thought that people might have things that they are tired of, don't wear anymore, don't need anymore, and that it could be helpful for us to come in and even help you sort it out, carry it, and help you lighten your own load. So that's my part of this. Who finally leave bad situations, there's a lot of humiliation and shame attached, but they also have a loss of control. They have given up their home, given up their things, given up their routine to make themselves and their children safe. So what they try to do is to give the woman back some power. And of course, women like to shop, you know, and they want to feel like they can choose from all the beautiful things they get to say, I want this and I'd like that, because otherwise, you know, that's one of the steps to begin to rebuild your own self and your own life, is to feel like you're in control of something, even if it's just the clothes and the household items that you buy.
Right. Fill it out, and some people, government's a little bit very much a part of the community, and we're very dependent on the community. So I want to thank you for your time this morning.
Did you get your jewelry at the store?
I get everything at the store.
That's what you did?
I am a walking, talking store. Dress, shoes, all my jewelry, probably not my dress, but the only thing. Probably the only thing. I mean, I've worked here for 8 or 9 years, so I mean, little tables that,
Thank you, Anita, so much. You can hang out and have some refreshments if you like. I'm not going to take a picture with me. What? You have your hair done today? Well, you have an interesting, you've had an interesting life.
Oh God. 2 minutes?
Well, start.
Some of it I don't want to remember.
Well, but you remember the early days, right?
Huh?
You remember your coming from Russia to, was it Germany?
When did you do that? When did you leave Russia?
In 46.
In 46. Mm-hmm. And when did you come to the United States?
And 47.
Mm-hmm.
End of 47.
Mm-hmm. And what does that mean?
When they're getting married. Christy.
Oh, what day is it?
Monday.
Who's getting married?
Reenie's daughter.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
On a Monday?
Yeah. Yeah. So I spoke with what's her name last night.